Hello there. So, we see each other again. Thank you for tuning in into another episode of PARANORMASIGHT, a mermaid's curse, or the mermaid's curse. I'm not sure. Anyway, after the spectacular events of the last episode, we will continue with this one. So yeah, this one we can kind of skip. Let's do the Cho Street again. You can skip this as well. Boring news. The normal news. Doodle it. Looking for mermaids, 2 foreigners. 2 armor divers have gone missing. That's pretty much it, yeah. And back to the jetty. Now this piece of garbage. Kakuko. If she talks to me like that again, I swear to God. Okay. Underwater gathering tips. Then we went working as an armor diver. Did you go diving today as well, Kikuko? Or you mean that whole thing? I took a boat, North Sea. Real serious, real shame. Timing best, not right now. Okay. By the way, user, how much practice did you manage to get in today? Enough to be able to do most things comfortably, I think. For sure, I can tell you've improved a lot just from the way you carry yourself. You must have a real talent for diving if you were able to improve that much in just one day. Wow, it's pretty impressive you can tell all that just by looking at him. Hey, I thought of a way I can show my support. If you manage to get a high score of 2000 points in one diving session, I will give you a special prize. Wow, isn't it great, user? What was your high score today again? Let's see. I think it was 3330 points. Wow, sugoi desu. You really did it. I sure did. That's amazing, user. Yes, you've earned yourself a prize. Here you go, a rare bird sticker I found while diving the other day. Mockingbird number 5. Damn. Albatross boss. Oh my god, it's a really, really rare one. Damn. Damn. Holy. You lucky dog. I didn't think you would get a new Mockingbird sticker so soon. Looks like a rare one too. Oh really? Nice. Yeah. Once you become a proper armor diver, I will tell you all the good diving spots I know. What do you mean proper armor diver? Boxes. About those boxes we helped you with English. About those boxes we helped you with just now. Was that the delivery everyone was expecting? Yep, the latest Kamishima merch, hot off the presses. I thought so. What do we have this time? You want to know? I'll bet Asami's keen to find out. He's always wearing the t-shirt. Sure I'm gonna show the world how much I love Kamishima. Tourists seem to love that shirt too. You wearing it all the time should make for great advertising. Anyway, the latest addition to our souvenir lineup is this. What is that? Kamishima. This is what's written here. This one I don't know. It's a turtle. And Kame is a turtle, I think, in Japanese, right? And Shima is island, so it's literally a turtle island. Yeah. This is what I can tell so far. What is that? Hand mirror? Bingo! A specially made hand mirror with a Kamishimaru design on the back. Is this maybe the kanji for a mirror? I don't know. So, what do you think? It looks great. Why did you go with another hand mirror though? Well, mirrors are a pretty prominent symbol of protection for sailors. Comes from the hope that the sea will be as smooth as glass, I guess. There are even regions where mirrors are used as offerings to the sea god. Oh, that's cool. With all these people living on the island and surrounded by the sea, I can see why mirrors are seen as symbols of good fortune here. And it's small enough to fit in your pocket too. It's both cute and practical. Wow, you really thought of everything, huh? I've actually been handing these out to armor divers around the island since yesterday. I told them it was a charm and that they should hang onto it for good luck. Oh, so everyone has one? That's kind of nice, another way to bring us all together. You're an armor diver now too, right, user? Why don't you take one? But I... Alright, I don't know if it's okay to count you as a diver, given what happened earlier. Like, it really matters. We've got plenty, so you should take one too. Thanks, sorry for the trouble. And mirror quiet. It's no big deal. I don't want you to feel left out or anything. I guess that means Azami's getting one as well. Here you go. Wow, really? I'm always down for more Kamishimaru merch. Sure thing, keep it safe and sound in your pocket and maybe it will keep you safe too. Everyone else was really happy to get this too. Even your grandma seemed to like it, user said she'd be sure to use it from now on. Really? I'm glad to hear it. Kamishimaru. Oh yeah, there's something I've been wondering for a while. Yeah? Were you the one who came up with the idea for Kamishimaru, Kikuko? Nope, I can't take credit for that one. Alright, I forgot you didn't know, user. You know what? At one point the local youth organization was trying to come up with souvenir ideas for tourists. Tsukasa stepped up and suggested creating a mascot character for Kamishima. She even drew the design for it. Mascot characters are all the rage nowadays, you know. There are even mascots for the World Expo and the Japan Games. Oh, I see, so Tsukasa drew this. I only heard about it after the fact too. Didn't know she was so good at drawing. And it's not just a cute little turtle, the unique look on its face makes a big impression. Yeah, the old guys here didn't seem too sure about it at first. But thanks to Azami's fervent endorsement, it ended up making the cut. I just didn't want Tsukasa's design to go to waste, you know, she put a lot of effort into it. I think it's a great mascot too, for what it's worth. How interesting, I'm glad I asked. Kamishimaru, a mascot character created specially for Kamishima as part of the local youth organization's efforts to boost the island's economy and strengthen the community. The design selected for the project was envisioned by Tsukasa Awao, a local high school student. As a symbol of Kamishima, it can be seen on a wide variety of merchandise sold in shops on the island, including keychains, flags and hand towels. A surprising number of tourists have found themselves charmed by the turtle character's peculiar, sleepy expression, enough so that its merchandise is often in short supply. Yeah, I guess it has a sleepy eye. There's a bunch of Kamishimaru merch now. Keychains, notepads, you name it. If you want any, just let me know. Foreign visitors. By the way, have you seen the 2 foreign tourists that were supposed to be visiting today? Wait a sec, foreign tourists? Here? Today? No way, what did they look like? Did they have blonde hair? Were they cool? I'm not sure, we don't know that much about it. I guess that means you haven't seen them either, though. Yeah, I guess they didn't come this way. Hey now, you two had better not be thinking of following them around to gob. Why is she blushing? You don't want them to think we're all unsophisticated louts out here, do you? Weren't you just asking whether they were cool or not? I don't know what you're talking about. But if you see them, you'll come and tell me, right? Right? Okay, we will. Man, I sure hope I run into those foreigners before they leave. She's not even trying to hide what she really thinks anymore. And missing armor divers. Have you heard about the 2 armor divers from the mainland who went missing? Of course I have. They evidently disappeared one right after the other. I guess that's a reminder of just how dangerous the sea can be. Hearing news like this is always pretty sobering. Do you think they were just accidents? Well, some of the other divers think it's a sign that something bad's going to happen. But you should probably keep quiet about this, user. If you start bringing it up, people will get suspicious. That's probably true, yeah. Personally though, I think they were probably just unfortunate accidents. I hope they're both found safe and sound. Oh, was that all? I'll be getting back to work then. Okay. What if we go back to the Joe Street? I don't think we're gonna get any more info here. Let's try somewhere else. What if you go back to Jetty? Huh? What's up? You wanted to chat a bit more? Just a bit more, yeah. Oh, what's the door? I'll be getting back to work then. Okay. Town clock. Kamishima town clock. Oh. Well, if it isn't Shotaro. Hey there, you two. Just the man I wanted to see. You wouldn't happen to have seen Sato around, would you? Sato? No, haven't seen her today. She was supposed to meet with me earlier, but she never showed. She didn't show? Did something happen? Oh, I'm sure it was just because of my old man's ridiculous request earlier. Honestly, I don't know what he was thinking. Still, he really has been acting off lately. Can't believe he would say something like that. Something wrong? Oh, pardon me. It's nothing for you two to worry about. By the way, user, I hear you've become an armor diver. Ah, yes, but I was told to stop, so I'm currently on extended, if not permanent, leave. Oh, don't let it get to you. I, for one, think you should go for it. I imagine everyone's been using your mother as an excuse, saying she brought bad luck to the island or some such. Wow, that's exactly it. Do you know why everyone keeps saying Yusa's mom was a bad omen, Shotaro? Ah, yes. What was it again? Something about her being the Raging Waves curse bearer? What? Why does he know this? The what? Raging Waves? The Raging Waves curse bearer. Raging Waves is, well, exactly what you would think it means, and the curse bearer has the power to call forth that calamity of the sea. My old man was going on about it earlier, but it's probably just superstitious nonsense. Don't pay it any mind. Ah, but I really should get going. Let me know if you see Sato, okay? See you later. I'm pretty curious about what Shotaro said. Yeah, the Raging Waves curse bearer, huh? Did people really see my mom that way? Maybe we should ask Mr. Wakamura what he knows. It's worth a shot at least. Anyway, let's keep moving. Tori. Tori Gate. Kamishima Tori. Ooh. Huh? Oh. Was she just getting dumped or something? Tsukasa? Sato? What's going on? Well, I'm sorry, I can't explain right now. Tsukasa, come on, we're drawing too much attention here. Hey, what was that all about? Something was definitely up with them. Yeah, they practically ran off when they saw us. Tsukasa was crying. What the hell could have happened? I'm worried too, but Sato said she can't explain right now. I'm sure that means they'll tell us what's up later. True, we shouldn't grill them if they're not ready to talk about it. Still, I get the feeling we probably shouldn't tell Shotaro we saw Sato here. Yeah, let's keep this to ourselves until we learn a bit more. Okay. What if we go back here? Doesn't look like anyone's here right now. Let's try somewhere else. Yeah, let's go. But if we go back here... Guess no one's here right now. Yeah, let's try somewhere else. Let's go to the Minakuchi residence. Is this where we... Minakuchi residence. Is this the grandma? Tsuyu. Yeah. Welcome back, user. Oh, and Azami's here too. Thanks for having me. You two went out diving today, didn't you? How'd it go? You get a decent haul? Ran about that. I was all set to enjoy the next stage of my life as an armor diver, but have found myself on forced leave the very day of my grand debut. Goodness, did something happen? Oh my, she and the others said all that? Yeah, if I were you, I wouldn't pay them any mind. You're not breaking any rules, are you? You're sure it's okay? No point fretting over pointless details is what I always say. Grandmother Tsui Minakuchi. Man, she seems like a very, very cool and nice person. Tsuyu Minakuchi, female housewife, 63 years old. Yusa Minakuchi's paternal grandmother and a former armor diver born in the Taisho period, she has a relaxed and broad-minded nature, but her tendency not to concern herself with the finer details often makes those around her uneasy. Although now retired due to health issues, she was one of the best armor divers in Kamishima, especially in her younger days, during which she had a fierce rivalry with Chie Toyama, also known as Chie the Mermaid. Later years saw them reconcile, and they could often be seen talking and laughing together at the diver's hut while grilling their catches. She lost her husband in the war when her son, Tosuke Minakuchi, was 3 years old. Working as an armor diver. I must have underestimated just how deep tensions ran. I never imagined they'd still be that hostile towards her. I thought things would have calmed down by now for sure. I'm sorry, Yusa. It's okay, Gran. Not being allowed to dive isn't the end of the world or anything. But are you sure there isn't a reason no one wants to talk about Mom? Well, no reason I can think of. I would like to get to the bottom of things there, if possible. It's going to affect my life here if I don't, and I would like to clear Mom's name too. If you don't mind me saying, it does seem pretty weird that people would be this upset just by Yusa coming back to Kamishima. You sure there's not some particular reason they don't like the thought of him going out diving? Well, no reason I can think of. The exact same answer as before. She's determined to pretend she doesn't know. Gran, I know you've always been reluctant to talk about Mom, but I'm not a child anymore. Isn't it about time you told me the truth? No. About Mom. You really can't think of any reason why everyone had such a problem with Mom? Well, alright, I'll be honest with you. Mare wasn't actually human. Huh? You mean we were right? Are you for real? Wait, don't tell me you believed that. Can you boys take a joke? I was obviously kidding. Did all that seawater pickle your common sense? Wait, you were joking? Of course I was. I thought I would mess around a bit and see if I could get a rise out of you, but you sure turned the tables on me. Turning a prank around on me like that, I have nothing more to teach you, young Yusa. And yeah, I fell for it hook, line and sinker. It's no good. She's set on giving us the slip. We're not going to get anything more out of her like this. Maybe she'd be more willing to talk if we had more information. You've heard me say this before, but Mare found it difficult to fit in here on the island. The environment she'd grown up in was quite different, you see. She struggled to adapt to life in a small community. No other reason I can think of for the beef the others had with her. Working as a samba diver. So, how did you dive out in the bay go? The dive went perfectly. You may know me only as your grandson Yusa. But in truth, I'm a living legend, Kamishima's patron saint of diving. Well, now, that does sound impressive. Huh? I was going to leave it at that, but you're serious, aren't you? You've improved by leaps and bounds since I last saw you. Why, if I was to put it in numbers, you'd be ranked 23. Wow, you can tell all that just by looking at me? Your grand's been around the armor diving block, you know. There's nothing more I can teach you. You'll make a fine armor diver user. Thanks, Gran. I'll do you proud as your successor. But I've been forbidden from diving for now, so it seems my life as an armor diver will have to wait. No need to fret. I'm sure that will sort itself out in time. I don't know about that. Your grandma's the same as ever, huh? Whatever the case, I'm happy you've chosen to follow my footsteps, Yusa. Good thing I thought to keep Maru's outfit, huh? Yeah, but I don't know how I feel about being able to fit in my mom's clothes at this age. You never did get any taller after middle school, did you? Damn, has my constant diet of fresh seafood meant nothing? No, it's because you have a 800-year-old made-up body which doesn't age anymore, user. It's nothing you need to worry about, user. It doesn't make you any less charming. Underwater gathering tips. Do you have any diving advice for me, Gran? Advice, huh? Let me see. If you're looking to get a high score in a single dive, you should focus on gathering everything you can, even the small fry. Getting 10 or 15 will earn you a bonus to your final score. If you manage to nab a big catch, switching your focus to bring in as many small catches as possible should net you a good result. I see, that will be a great help. Diving tips. Aim for a large haul. Gathering more than 10 sea creatures at once will earn you a large haul bonus. A total of 10 or more will give you a 1.5 multiplier, your original score, and a total of 15 or more will net you 1.8 multiplier to your original score. If you can't find any promising catches, focusing on quantity over quality can still earn you a high score. You wouldn't happen to have any other diving tips for me, would you? Well now, bold as brass, aren't we? But I'm glad you're keen to learn. Let me see. Sometimes you come across areas when diving that are simply brimming with sea creatures. I call them bountiful zones. Bountiful zones, huh? I would love to see one. On the other hand, areas with lots of starfish are usually picked clean, with no sea creatures to speak of. We call those places barren zones. So the more starfish there are, the less sea creatures there'll be. Got it. A whopper of a catch could still be hiding in a barren zone, of course. Always keep an eye on your surroundings. Diving tips. The bountiful zones and barren zones. Occasionally you will encounter underwater areas teeming with sea creatures known as bountiful zones. On the other hand, barren zones, areas with an abundance of starfish, tend to have been stripped bare, and sea creatures are few and far between. However, you might find some promising catches hidden in barren zones if you search closely enough. Maybe. Perhaps. Arguably. Swiss condition. Sorry I had to leave early today to go diving, Gran. Was everything okay? How are you feeling? Well, I didn't have much prep in my step today, but it's fine because Sato came over this morning. She really is a saint, always helping me out with the cooking and cleaning like that. Again? Gran, I know you're fond of her, but you shouldn't rely on her too much. I didn't know Sato was coming over to help out here. Yeah, she and Gran became friends recently, and before I knew it, she was coming over every so often. Sato's such a nice young lady. She even chats with me about all the latest TV drama developments. She's a bit naive in some ways, but she's a quick learner. Remembers everything I tell her about almost instantly. Huh, I had no idea. I said she could relax here a while, but she left early today. I'm glad you are having fun, but make sure to thank her properly sometime, alright? Of course, of course. I'm always happy to help, you know. There's no need to depend on others so much. I know, but if someone has to help me get things done, I'd rather it was a lovely young girl, you know. Besides, she does a much better job at cooking and cleaning than you do, user. See, I do my best to be a good grandson, and this is the thanks I get. We are going out again for a bit, Gran. Got it. You two take care, okay? Okay. And the Wakamura residence. Ah, old man Wakamura. You mind if we ask you something real quick? It's just one thing after another today. What now? Azami and the Minaguchi boy. I heard from Chia you two went out into the bay to do some diving earlier. Well, I've got a bone to pick with you, and there's no time like the present. Ah, okay. So, boy, you serious about wanting to become an armor diver? Huh? I thought at first you'd come up here to get my permission to dive, but now I hear you've been running around looking into Mari Minaguchi. What's the meaning of this? Ugh. We've been asking around, it's not what you think. We've been asking around. To be honest, we have been asking around. I guess there was no hiding it from you. User, you're sure this is okay? It's probably best to be honest about things now, Azami. Just like you said, we've been trying to find out more about my mom. I knew it. Anyway, my point is, no more sticking your nose where it don't belong, got it? And most of all, no becoming a diver. Local magnate Shinobu Wakamura. So, if I give up on becoming an armor diver and fall in line, would you tell me about my mom? All this sniffing around you're doing sure ain't falling in line, that's for sure. Besides, you should be asking Tsuyu about all this business, not me. She's gotta know more than I do. Oh? So Tsuyu really does know more than she's letting on. About Tsuyu. Gran said she doesn't know anything about my mom though. So she even said that to you. What do you mean? Well, I don't know that much myself. Tsuyu's always been tight-lipped about Mariminakochi, where she came from, what the deal was. So you've been saying Yusa's mom was to blame for that massive storm even though you don't know for sure? Tsuyu ain't said nothing to deny it. Speaks for itself, don't it? If you don't like what you're hearing, you should go ask Tsuyu about it yourselves. About the Raging Waves curse bearer. Mr. Wakamura, what is the Raging Waves curse bearer? What? Where did you hear about that? It's gotta be Shotaro. He never could keep his mouth shut. We heard that some sort of curse that whips the waves into a frenzy. Does something like that really exist? It does. The Southern Sea disaster 5 years ago was caused by that very same curse. The curse of the Raging Waves? And your mother, Mare Minakuchi, was the one who brought it down on us. That storm was no natural disaster. It was entirely preventable. If we'd only stopped her from going to the bay that day, Kamishima wouldn't have had to suffer such a tragedy. What? My mom would never have done something like that. Just cause you don't remember don't mean she wasn't up to something out there. As to whether it was intentional or not, who can say, but it don't make a difference either way. I don't get how you can say Miss Mare was a curse bearer or whatever if you didn't know anything about her. Do you have any proof? Proof? I've got the words of a trustworthy sorcerer backing me up. That's all the proof I need. A sorcerer? You're basing all this on what some woo-woo wizard said? Give me a break. You can believe what you like. Don't change the fact that cursed spirits are as real as anything else. I don't have time to butt heads with you two, but I know that I'm saying is the honest truth. Looks like there's no point trying to change his mind. Old man's as stubborn as a mule. So, you really think there's a storm coming and that a storm is caused by a curse? Of course I do. Some fellas who said they were with the police dropped by to warn me about it yesterday, in fact. The police? Why would the police be warning you about the curse? I reckon they were just phonies trying to take advantage of the curse for their own benefit. But even you two must have noticed that rumbling coming from the sea over the last few days, right? That's proof the curse of the Raging Waves is getting stronger. So that's why you've been telling everyone to stop taking their boats out and prepare for a storm? Sure is. Naturally, I can't just come out and say it's cause of a curse. There's no telling when or where it will rear its head. It's so dangerous to go on the water in these circumstances. Even so, we'll have to take our boats out again eventually. We can't keep off the sea forever. You're damn tootin', which is why I gotta find a way to stop the curse as soon as possible. Why would the curse be affecting the sea around here though? Seems like you two still don't believe me. Fine, let's see if this will change your minds. A long time back, there used to be another island to the south of here. Taishima was called. Taishima? This is the first I've heard of it. They say it was devastated by an earthquake and tsunami nearly 400 years ago. But the truth of the matter is that raiders overran the island and slaughtered every last one of the people who lived there. Huh? The murdered islanders' resentments gave rise to the curse of the Raging Waves. And the resulting storm and tsunami sank the island to the bottom of the sea, raiders and all. Is that true? That curse is still roiling about in the seas near here to this very day. Just one little push and that storm could come barreling down on Kamishima next. A push? Something that would awaken the islanders' anger again, such as... Someone with ties to those raiders, say, a descendant of theirs, drawing near to where Taishima was. A descendant? Wait, you're saying my mom was a descendant of the raiders who attacked Taishima? Sure I am, and as a son, you share her blood. So she was a descendant of the raiders who attacked Taishima, but she is not from Taishima. Okay. But how could that... Only naturally everyone would see you as a bad omen, no? I really didn't want you back on the island, you know. You should be grateful I didn't have you shipped back to the mainland on the next ferry. You're telling me that's how everyone's seen Yuza and his folks all this time? It's fine, Azami. Let's hear the rest of what he has to say. Are you saying the reason the curse of the raging waves reawakened is because I came back to Kamishima? Nah, there were signs even before you came back, so the direct cause was probably something else. That still don't change the fact you're a bad omen though. How are you even planning to stop the curse? That ain't none of your concern. You just sit tight at home and stay out of my way. And I don't want to hear any more about you going out to sea. Are you clear? And that's all I'm gonna say on the matter. Should be clear now just how much of a danger you are to the island. Now get yourselves home and stay put. Seems like that's all we're gonna get out of him. But maybe we could ask Tsuyu about what we just heard. She might be able to tell us more. Okay. Oh, was there something else you needed, Tsuyu? Mom's curse. By the way, Gran, we just went to talk to Mr. Wakamura, and there's something we wanted to ask you about. What was that? My hearing's been a bit off recently, you see. Please don't say that. A lot of armor divers have ear problems, so it's not really a laughing matter. Someone has no sense of humor. So, did you know that everyone thought Mom was the Raging Waves curse bearer? Wow, I'm impressed you managed to say that without stuttering. So you have heard of it before. Oh, dread, me and my big mouth. He said Mom was descended from the ones who first called forth the curse, or something like that. And that's why everyone is so concerned with what I get up to. Is it true though? Well, if you know that much, I suppose I can tell you two the truth. Huh? If I just rest up a bit, I'll be up and round again in no time. I want the two of you to come to the southern bay later, once the sun's gone down. Right, thanks, Gran. You can't tell us about it now? I think it would be easier to show you what I mean. Okay, we'll be at the bay at sundown, but if you're not feeling up to it, don't push yourself, okay? No need to rush now. I will tell you everything later. You'll want to prepare yourself for this one. Okay. We are going out again for a bit, Gran. Got it. You two take care, okay? What if we go there again? Mr. Wakamura. Yeah. No good. He's completely clammed up. I doubt we'll be able to crack that shell. Let's try somewhere else. Okay. Are we done with the chapter now? Huh? Why is she here? Ah, Cheer. You two again? Still wandering around poking your noses into business you shouldn't be? How's it about you stop messing around and just give up already? Nothing you do is gonna make me change my mind. I'm saying this for your sake as much as anyone else has been a Gucci boy. Try to understand my position, eh? For my sake? You managed to survive that disaster 5 years ago. Some would call it a miracle even. It wouldn't do to see that miracle go to waste, would it? Maybe I flew off the handle a bit earlier. Ended up coming off a bit stronger than I meant to. I can't tell you anything about your mother, but believe me when I say it's best you let sleepy dogs lie. Curse of the Raging Waves. Is this about how Yuza's mom caused that curse? The curse of the Raging Waves or whatever? So you already know. Heard it all from Shinobu, I wager. You believe in the curse, Mrs. Shear? Of course I do. At the very least, I know it's not some old wives' tale. I'm not saying you have to believe it too, though. Don't get me wrong, I don't want to talk bad about the woman or anything, but there was obviously something up with Mari Minakuchi 5 years back. She always seemed anxious and on edge, and then the disaster struck. Maybe I'm just reading too much into it, but I can't shake these doubts of mine either. The water gathering tips. I said it before and I'll say it again, no diving. My stance there hasn't changed a bit, you hear me? Damn, guess that's that. By the by, where'd you go diving today? Well... User wanted a particular spot, so we went about 5 kilometers south of the island. Say what? What were you thinking diving in the southern sea of all places? You've got even less sense than I thought. You know full well that everyone avoids that area because of the disaster 5 years ago. Yeah, I know. But Azami and I both lost family in the disaster too. We wanted to take the chance to pay our respects. Well, I can't say I don't get how you feel. But that strange rambling I told you about is coming from the south. Just do me a favor and stay away from the sea, alright? Alright. I ain't gonna get nothing from you there. Foreign visitors. Oh, I almost forgot to ask, have the 2 foreign tourists come by here at all? Sure did. Saw 'em just now, actually. What? Do you know where they went? Looked like they were headed to the lighthouse from what I could tell. The lighthouse, huh? Gotcha. Kamishima Lighthouse. Seems nice. A lighthouse on the eastern side of Kamishima, the narrow passage between Cape Irago and Kamishima has long been known to be difficult to navigate, particularly at night, so much so that it has been featured alongside the whirlpools of Awa and the Ondo no Seto Strait in sailor songs about the most feared waterways. Following its construction in the Meiji era, spurred by reports of warships striking reefs in the area, the lighthouse has continued to stand watch over the waters of the island, ensuring safe passage to all who travel them. Don't go following them around just cause we don't see many foreign folks around these parts, you hear. And missing armor divers. Cheer, we heard that 2 armor divers from the mainland went missing in some sort of accident. You heard right. Do you think that's a bad omen as well? I do. I'm well aware just how dangerous the sea can be, but 2 divers getting caught up in accidents and going missing one after another. That tells me there's something off with the sea itself. We are down here. You 2 should leave dealing with island matters to Shinobu from now on. Keep your heads down and stay out of trouble, you hear? Yeah. Well, that was something. She isn't a bad person at heart, but she sure is stubborn. Yeah. And the lighthouse. Okay, no one at the Torii Gate. Lighthouse. Wait, these are different visitors, tourists. This is indeed an older man and a young girl. What? Oh, looks like we found them. Yeah, there's probably some kind of miscommunication. Some probably meant Sodo and Yumiko, and some meant those 2. That looks like them, alright. Excuse me. You rang? Do my eyes deceive me? Could these young islanders have come all the way here to talk to us? Welcome, welcome to Kamishima Lighthouse. There's not much here, but please make yourselves at home. Thanks for having us. Why is he the one welcoming us? It's because most people here have been avoiding him. He's excited someone finally wants to talk. Oh. Anyway, we were wondering if you could spare a moment or 2 talk. Wait, before you do, shall we play a game? I want to guess why you've come to talk to us. May I? Sure. It's probably safe to assume you know we've been making the rounds here asking questions. Indeed, it was most likely hearing such news that incited you to climb all the way up here to meet us, which means I've got it. We've almost certainly done something to offend the good people of this island, committed some manner of ill-mannered faux pas. Faux pas? Faux pas? Faux pas? You must have come to tell us that the lighthouse is off limits to everyone except authorized personnel. Actually, no. what is wrong with him? The bitter taste of failure, and thus does my stint as aspiring detective end in ignominy. I would say that whole show was kind of a social faux pas, at least. Don't worry, he's always like this. He'll bounce back in no time. See, you must be pretty resilient. Since you didn't guess right, do you mind if we continue? Oh, asking my permission, are we? Well then, by all means, permission granted. Thank you, yes, my name is Arnav Barnum. You can call me Avi as a sign of our newfound friendship, and also because I like it better. Tourist, Arnav Barnum. Okay then, Avi? Avi? Ah, such a pleasing ring to it. And what can I do for you, young man? Would this girl be your daughter? Not quite. Miss Circe Lunalight here is a distant relative of mine. Yes, Miss Circe Lunalight would be me. Nice to meet you. Tourist Circe Lunalight. I'm Yusa Minakuchi, a resident of Kamishima, and this is Asami Kumoi. Nice to meet you. Yusa and Asamiha. The pleasure's mine. Wait, Minakuchi. About them. Oh, so we've piqued your interest, have we? I am a fantasy writer by trade, with a reach spanning the Atlantic from Bonnie, England to vast America. Not that any of his books sell at all. That's right, for some reason no one buys my novels, quite the mystery, no. Unless a fantasy writer has no need for mysteries. What's that? I earn more as an occult writer, so that might as well be my main job now. Humbug, I say, stick a sock in it and make your own beeswax. I see. In any case, I'm just your average free spirit, footloose, fancy-free and all that. What's that? You're wondering if my bohemian nature is the reason I remain unattached and unbed? Humbug, I say, stick a sock in it and mind your own beeswax. You seem to be enjoying yourself. I am indeed, why not give it a try yourself? 1, 2, 3. Humbug, I say, I'm good actually, thanks. Impressive as it is, I could see doing this post 3 times might have been a much, yes. This guy sure is hard to keep up with. At any rate, I recently found myself with a pressing need to visit your fair country for research. Fortunately, young Circe here just happened to be studying Japan and kindly agreed to accompany me as my guide. Your guide? Indeed, she's quite the enthusiast when it comes to Japanese folklore and occult phenomena, and such a pleasure to converse with as well. Isashima is a deeply spiritual region full of sacred places I'd always wanted to visit. Recollection, we traveled around the mainland before coming here, but this place stands above and beyond. My nose almost started bleeding from the exhilaration. Past recollection chapter available. Arnav Burnham. It will unlock once all conditions are met. Another point of view. Ooh. Okay. In fact, I think I did a bit. You must have been really excited, huh? Is this really that special compared to other places? Of course, it wasn't called the land whither repair the waves from the eternal world for nothing, you know. Uh-huh. The land whither what? What's this? You've never heard it called that? It said that Yamatohime no Mikoto, the Empress of ancient Japan, was searching for a suitable place to enshrine Amaterasu 2000 years ago. She received a divine revelation that the waves around Ise province came from the eternal world, which led her to establish the Ise Grand Shrine. This eternal world is a separate realm from the world in which we live. Some describe it as a perpetual paradise. You're gonna have to slow down there a bit. So, what does that mean exactly? We learned about it in our local history classes, remember? Yeah, I think remember sorta. Basically, Ise is such a sacred place, even the ancient gods took a liking to it, right? Exactly, it has such an enchanting vibe. Just being here is enough to have my nose gushing all day long. But the residents wouldn't be feeling too hot if our noses kept bleeding all the time. One thing's for sure though, you seem to really like Izushima. As a local, I'm super happy to hear that. Oh. Arnav Barnum, male author, occult journalist, 40 years old. Nickname Avi. A fantasy author and occult journalist whose books are published in both America and England, but they apparently don't sell well. Unmarried. He has apparently come to Japan in search of mermaids. Circe Lunarlight, female exchange student, 15 years old. A young girl from England currently on exchange in Japan. She seems to harbor an ardent interest in Japanese folklore and occult stories. Will you be staying on Kamishima tonight? If you need somewhere to stay, I know a few places. We've actually already booked a guest house back on the mainland. We'll be taking the last ferry back after this. Oh, I guess you don't have much time left then, huh? Reason for visiting. So, what brings you to Kamishima today? I'm glad you asked, young user. We were hoping to pick your brains on the topic as well. There wouldn't happen to be any legends concerning mermaids passed down on this island, would there? So you really are looking for mermaids? Oh, indeed we are. You know what mermaids are, yes? I refer of course to the mythical half-human, half-fish creature. Sure, we know that much at least. Then I may be able to provide a modicum of additional information on the subject. Additional information? Well, you may be aware that the typical Western mermaid is envisioned as having the lower half of a fish and the top half of a human woman. It's thought that this interpretation has its origins in another sea monster, the sirens of Greek mythology. They claim to fame as surfacing near reefs and bewitching sailors with their beautiful voices. Andersen's fairy tale, The Little Mermaid, is a famous example of this type of mermaid. Indeed, it caused this image to enter common knowledge. Yeah, that's what comes to mind when I think of the mermaids too. A typical mermaid, right? But the mermaid that appears in ancient Japanese folklore is quite different. This mermaid has only the head of a human, with the rest of its body being a fish, like a British citizen. It appears it was seen more as an evil spirit or a yokai in nature. The legend that eating its flesh will grant immortality also implies that it was seen as more fish than human. Sure, that makes sense. People would definitely think twice about eating something that looked human, huh? This isn't to say there's a difference in Eastern and Western interpretations of mermaids, mind you. One could rather assume that there are several different types of creature that can be encompassed by the term mermaid. After all, there were also reports of more humanoid or demi-human mermaids being sighted in Japan in later years. Different types of mermaids, huh? Personally, I think lumping the two under the same appellation is a mistake. After all, they are two different creatures that just happen to share the same trait of being half fish, half human. It leads to misunderstandings when conflicting stories get passed on, and then the whole concept gets treated on as occult malakry. Yeah. So from what I can surmise, it's that there are real mermaids, maybe, and that there are humans who got cursed as fishes. This is probably the difference between them. And the real mermaids will probably look a bit more appealing as well, I assume. I think I see what you mean. Listening to you talk about them, it sounds like you believe mermaids really exist, Avi. But of course I do. After all, I didn't come to research mermaids. I came to look for mermaids. Bum bum. This is all very compelling. Isn't it? I think this is the first time someone's agreed with me on the matter. Mermaids. And that brings me to my next question. You wouldn't happen to have any local info on mermaids, would you? Unfortunately, I've never heard of any folklore about mermaids here. I see, that would align with the answers we've received to our other inquiries thus far. And it would seem our investigation has branded us as certified weirdos. Most everyone now turns us a blind eye as well as a deaf ear. Well, it's probably not just because of that. I mean, isn't there supposed to be a huge occult craze going on in Japan right now? I assume everyone would be jumping at the chance to discuss cryptids. Pretty sure that's just a small group of enthusiasts getting worked up, a very vocal minority, yeah? If you're that interested in the occult, what brought you all the way to Kamishima? Do you have a reason to believe mermaids could be found here? An excellent question, I do indeed. More precisely, I had reason to believe they could be found around Taishima, an island that no longer exists. Taishima? Indeed, I obtained this information through personal research, so I imagine it's not common knowledge. But some say there were 3 mermaids, Sobae, Nagame and Hayase, living in the seas around Taishima 400 or so years ago. 3 of them? And you even know their names? We didn't even know Taishima existed until today. It seems a deliberate decision was made not to leave any records of Taishima's existence, which would obviously lead one to believe something is being concealed. On that note, did you know that records remain of several other sightings of mermaids in Ise Bay? What, really? That's right. Legends about mermaids exist throughout Japan, and this region is no exception. In particular, there are reports of mermaids having been discovered in Sud City and Ise City, both of which border Ise Bay. Well, I had no idea. I've jotted down some notes on these legends, so please take a look if you're interested. Ise Bay Mermaid Legend, the Mermaids of Betsuho. According to the Kokon Shomonju, a collection of notable tales old and new, an anthology of spoken stories compiled in the 13th century, 3 mermaids were discovered caught in a fisherman's net in Betsuho in Ise province, modern-day Nakabeppo, Kawage town in Sud City. The Mermaid of Futamigaura. There are a total of 6 mermaid sightings mentioned in the Kagenki, the ancient annals of Horyuji Temple, covering the latter half of the Kamakura period to the Nanbokucho period. One of these entries describes a mermaid sighting in Futami, Ise province, modern-day Futami town in Ise City, in the 2nd year of the Enbun era, 1357. The mermaid was subsequently named Enmeiju, a name composed of characters affiliated with a long life. Damn, this is so difficult to read. Ano town's Yao Bikuni. Although the exact time period is unclear, legends tell of a girl named Osato from Kusawa in Ano's town of H district of Age district, I think this is Age, who became immortal after eating the flesh of a mermaid and went on to become Yao Bikuni, a nun who lived for 800 years. The 3 mermaids of Taishima. While this information is not recorded in any literature, according to Avi's research, 3 mermaids, Sobae, Nagame and Hayase, reportedly lived on Taishima, an island said to have sunk about 400 years ago. Thanks, this is all very interesting. So, which type of mermaid are you looking for, Avi? Well, it seems a lot of the mermaid sightings around Ise Bay were fish mermaids. Fish mermaids? But the mermaids sighted around Taishima were apparently the human mermaid sort. So it stands to reason that any mermaids around here would be human mermaids as well. By human mermaids you mean the sort that are closer to humans than fish, right? Indeed, the ones closer to fish meanwhile are known as fish mermaids, or that's what I call them anyway. I see. I don't know whether that makes it easier to understand or more complicated. In that case, mermaids whose flesh would make you immortal if you eat it would have to be fish mermaids then, right? Another fine question. It is indeed difficult to imagine people eating the flesh of human mermaids, but I personally believe that human mermaids also have the power to bestow immortality on people. Oh, I wonder. How about another refresher on myth and legend? Are either of you familiar with a place called Ryugu? Ryugu? Is it related to the Ryugu Palace that appears in the tale of Urashima Taro? Just so! It could well be considered the inspiration for the undersea palace in that familiar fairy tale. Oh, I was right. Tale of Urashima Taro. Yoshitoshi Tsukioka Urashima Taro returning home from the Palace of the Dragon King excerpt, adapted from the Tokyo Metropolitan Library collection. Long ago, a youth by the name of Urashima Taro lived in a village by the sea. One day, upon rescuing a sea turtle that was being bullied on the beach, Taro was amazed when the turtle thanked him by inviting him to Ryugu Palace, the legendary undersea palace of the Dragon King, as a token of gratitude for his kindness. Ryugu Palace was a wondrous place, with a beauty unlike anything found on the surface world. The princess of Ryugu Palace, Otohime, received him with great hospitality. Taro spent his days treated to elegant dances performed by sea breams and flounders, and satisfied by extravagant feasts, spending his days as if in a dream. After spending some time enjoying this luxurious lifestyle, Taro began to miss his village. He asked Otohime for permission to return home, and although sad to see him go, the princess granted his request. As a parting gift, she handed him a mysterious box, a tamatebako, but warned him never to open it. Thinking this strange but agreeing to Otohime's request nonetheless, Taro accepted the tamatebako and set out back towards his village on Turtleback. Upon reaching his village, Taro realized everything was different. The house he had lived in was gone, and there was no sign of his parents or anyone he had known. What he had believed to be just a short sojourn in Ryugu Palace had in fact been several hundred years on the surface, and the village and people he had once known were no more. Overcome with the despair, Taro turned to the tamatebako he had been gifted in a final grasp at hope. As he opened the box, a thick white smoke engulfed him, and in that instant, the hundreds of years that had passed caught up with him, turning him into an old man. Yeah, this is even a common mythological folklore tale of Japan, I think. Even when I was playing Final Fantasy in Ruby Sea, there was this mermaid princess boss who can throw these boxes at you where smoke is coming out and then you turn old, for example. Yeah. And this really, I mean, we don't know if everything is true, but I had the theory that time runs differently in this eternal world of the mermaids anyway, so I think I'm spot on that probably. Yeah, in general, the time component in this game will be very, very, very weird later, I think. The Ryu dragon surely refers to the god of the sea. It's not uncommon for deities associated with water to be serpentine in nature. This would then make Ryugu the palace where the god of the sea resides, the palace of the Dragon King. I had no idea Ryugu Palace was based on something else. Ryugu is known for being home to the priestesses who attend the god of the sea. These women are collectively referred to as Otohime. Oh yeah, Princess Otohime appeared in the tale of Urashima Taro, didn't she? Yeah, but she was described as the ruler of Ryugu Palace in the fairy tale, so she was actually a priestess. A slight embellishment to make for a more interesting story, I assume, hardly uncommon. There's also another interesting theory about the Otohime of Ryugu. It's said that they were a half-fish, half-human woman in appearance. In other words, they were mermaids. Oh, but what's that I hear you say? That's all well and good, but where is this Ryugu Palace anyway? Ryugu Place anyway. Yeah. You want to know? You're dying to know, aren't you? Very well, then take it away, sis. Right. As a matter of fact, Ryugu is said to be the exact same place as the Eternal World I mentioned earlier. Oh, really? In other words, the sea around Ise, which is said to consist of waves from the Eternal World, is in fact the location of Ryugu. And Ryugu is home to the Otohime mermaids, right? That's right. What's more, are priestesses who live in a land said to be an eternal paradise. It wouldn't be that odd if they had some sort of power to grant immortality to humans. Even in the tale of Urashima Taro, Princess Otohime displayed an ability to influence the physical age of other people using the tamatebako. If the story has its basis in the ability of mermaids to influence human lifespans, that power of hers makes a lot more sense, don't you think? I see, so that's why you think human mermaids are able to grant immortality even without eating their flesh. Oh ho ho, you see, intriguing, is it not? But how would you even get to Ryugu? What creature was responsible for bringing Urushima Taro to Ryugu in the eponymous tale? That's right, a turtle, or kame. And what is the name of the island we're currently standing upon? Oh, Kamishima! And there you have the reason for our visit. So you believe there might be some clue as to how to get to Ryugu hidden on Kamishima? Could Kamishima really have some sort of link to Ryugu? Ryugu. Tales of Ryugu, the abode of the god of the sea, exists in every area of Japan. Posited by some theories to be the eternal world of legend, it is said to be a perpetual paradise connected to this world via the seabed that bestows everlasting youth and an unnatural longevity to those who live there. Some tales also equate Ryugu with the underworld, the place where the dead journey after death. The tale of Urashima Taro about a youth who was invited to the seafloor palace of Ryugu as thanks for rescuing a turtle led to Ryugu's name becoming widely known throughout the country. That in the story, a princess called Otohime serves as ruler of Ryugu's palace, but Otohime originally referred to priestesses serving the god of the sea who presided over Ryugu. Okay. By the way, user. Yes? You said your name was Yusa Minakuchi, correct? Yes, that's right. Are you familiar with an individual by the name of Mari Minakuchi? Huh? Mari Minakuchi was my mom. She passed away in an accident 5 years ago. I apologize for the indiscretion. My condolences. 5 years ago, You wouldn't happen to have inherited anything from your mother, would you? No, but what do you mean? What do you know about my mom? Would she have had some sort of connection to mermaids? Well, this is more related to my personal research, so I can't say for sure. Please tell me, I'm also looking for mermaids. If you know anything, I have to know. Well, now, you've certainly grown lively all of a sudden. Let's calm down a bit, Regrettably, the only lead I have is a rumor that suggests some connection between mermaids and Mari Minakuchi. A rumor from where? Oh, you want to know? Well, I suppose you would, wouldn't you? Very well, I will tell you. I heard it from a descendant of the islanders who used to call Taishima home. What? So someone survived the disaster that sunk Taishima and their descendants are still around today? Long story short, yes. Isn't it fascinating? This particular individual was also the one who told me about the 3 mermaids who were said to have lived on Taishima. I see. By the by, if you're also seeking mermaids, you must have some information of your own, yes? Surely this one-sided exchange of knowledge wounds your good conscience. Allow me to remedy that by accepting any information you have. Rusa, yeah, this is our best lead yet. Let's share what information we can. You see. Oh, so you were saved by a mermaid during the disaster 5 years ago. And you believe the mermaid in question might have been your mother. Yeah, I know it sounds pretty far-fetched, and I know some of it probably comes from me wanting her to still be alive. Oh, no, on the contrary, I find it very interesting indeed. Why, you ask? Why? There's a rumor about one of the 3 mermaids who used to live around Taishima. They say she took on human form several decades ago and has lived among humans ever since. What? No way. It would fit perfectly with our theory. Color me surprised as well. This is my surprise face, by the way. But it would be very interesting if that was the case. Sorry, Avi, I think I'm at my limit. Oh my, that bad, is it? Something wrong? My apologies. As much as I wish we could talk more, it would appear we're out of time. I'm afraid we must bid you goodbye for today. Now that you mention it, if you're looking to make the last ferry, you will probably want to be heading back soon. Wait, this is the most promising lead we found. If you could stay just a bit longer. Believe me, I'd love to continue our chat too, but the little lady's been feeling a bit under the weather ever since arriving here, you see. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. You're not going to get another nosebleed. If you're feeling that bad, maybe you should stay for the night after all. Thank you, I'm just about holding the nosebleed in. But I really should get off the island as soon as possible. Ever since arriving here, I've had this feeling that some terrible calamity is approaching. Calamity? You can't mean... Ah, I forgot to mention, young Sears here is a bit sensitive to things in that sphere, if you catch my drift. Oh, okay, but... As reluctant as I am to part ways, we really must go. Many thanks for the information you shared, and never fear, we'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow? Where's that? I'm sorry, excuse me. Avi! You rang? If you happen to find any more leads on mermaids today, could you let me know as soon as possible, please? Oh, I didn't expect you to be all that interested. Very well, if I hear anything else, I'll be sure to let you know. If you could give me your contact information, perhaps? Thank you. Man, that sure was a stroke of good luck. I never thought that they would have so much info for us. We managed to learn a lot, but it seems like getting any more from them today will be a bit tough. I really need that information by tomorrow, though. There is more? The chapter is not over yet? Oh, it's so long. Oh. There's no one's around here. Maybe we have to go there again? Oh, was there something else you needed, user? Okay, not here either. Wakamura, maybe? Mr. Wakamura. The goatee is completely clamped up. Okay, no. Town clock? Doesn't look like anyone's here. Cho Street. Oh, looks like the sun's starting to set. Why don't we go over what we've learned so far? Yeah, good idea. First we learned that my mom was considered cursed by some of the islanders. Yeah, they said she was descendant from the person who originally called forth the curse of the raging waves or something like that. I can't talk anymore. I think I made my limit as well. And because he thinks the curse is about to break out again, Mr. Wakamura is currently trying to find a way to stop it. Not everyone on the island believes in it, though. Kikuko and Shotaro didn't seem to believe in it at all, yeah. We also managed to speak with those two foreigners who were looking for mermaids. They sure were full of surprises. And there's also that rumor about mermaids living near Taishima, a nearby island that was destroyed, and that one of them assumed human form. I never thought we'd find something to support the idea that my mom might have been a mermaid. Whatever else we may have learned from this, the mermaids that I encountered 5 years ago may very well have been one of those 3 living near Taishima. We also got some hints about where those mermaids might have come from. Yeah, there's a good chance they originally came from an otherworldly place called Ryugu. If they're in a place like that, I don't see how we could ever get to them though. What that girl said about a calamity approaching is bothering her a bit too. There's no way she should know about the curse of the raging waves, right? Do you think that means the curse is real after all? Oh, Masami, I just realized something. Yeah? If the curse of the raging waves is in danger of breaking out again, then wouldn't that mean its curse bearer is still around today? Oh, damn, you're right. But your mom is, well, not with us anymore. Mr. Wakamura seems to think I wasn't the direct cause of the curse reappearing too. Yeah, he'd probably be coming down on you even harder if he thought you were. So the person responsible would be someone who wasn't here 5 years ago but is here now. Well, assuming the curse is real anyway. Yeah. Still, I really do wonder if my mom had some sort of link with mermaids. I hope whatever Gran has to tell us sheds some light on things. You mean what she's planning to tell us at the bay tonight? Yeah. What's wrong? There's a bunch of noise coming from Cho Street. I think I heard screaming. Let's go. Why? Why? What happened? What's wrong? Tsukasa, what's going on? I don't... We were just... But then Sato just... Yusa, look over there! What? What? Sato? There's blood everywhere, what happened? She's not moving, don't tell me she's dead. Sato just... Suddenly, we were just... But then she got cut down. Whatever it was, we gotta get her to the clinic. Wait, what's happening? Oh, Sato, her wound is... The wound is gone? Ah, Sato! Sato, are you okay? Sato! What? What? Oh, okay. Oh, Sato. So this is her from the legend and... What the fuck? What? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I mean, I found her really suspicious anyway. She's kind of there, but and she's fun to be around with, but I don't know. Okay. What the? Does this mean we should read this again? What's that? Yeah, this was the real user, I assumed, the corpse, but this is not what... Yeah, Anno Town's Yao Bikuni. Although the exact time period is unclear, legends tell of a girl named Osato. O is the honorific, and then Sato, from Kusawa in Anno Town of Agi District, who became immortal after eating the flesh of a mermaid and went on to become Yao Bikuni, a nun who lived for 800 years. Okay. So she is not originally mermaid or anything, but she is immortal, as we've seen with our own eyes. Yao Bikuni. The Middle Ages saw the spread of the legend of Yao Bikuni throughout Japan, which claimed that eating mermaid flesh could grant eternal youth and longevity. In the early modern period, the image of mermaids diversified, attracting wider public interest. Mermaids, mummies. Okay. Damn. Sato Shiranami. Shiranami. Even Nami means wave, right? Roughly 3 months ago, Sato suddenly arrived in Kamishima. Yeah, she's probably for whatever reason, she's at the Wakamuras because she can tell him about the immortality. And Wakamura is probably like financing everything. This is why she can live such a leisure life, I assume. Huh. And here we have Arnav Barnum, our fourth protagonist, damn. Which we can't access yet though. Seems like we need more information. Damn. And to end this super long episode... Yeah! Damn, Albatross boss! Short-tailed Albatross, the leader of the Ocean Outlaws, a gang of hooligans who soar around the skies of his seesaw town. His imposing size and taciturn demeanor have won the admiration of many birds, leading to his influence growing by the day. However, the truth is, he's really not thinking of much at all. His silence just happens to be English. His silence just happens to be interpreted in a flattering light by those around him. Damn, look, best buddies, but he's actually trying to kill him. Damn. Okay, well, thank you for tuning in for this super long Paranormasight episode. I will be taking a break now, and I hope you have a wonderful day or night or whatever, and I will catch you later. Bye bye.